Native speakers of a language have a very good control over idiomatic usage. In the IELTS exam, you need to make use of idiomatic usage. Now, idioms don't mean the same thing as proverbs. A proverb is a fixed saying, but an idiom is very flexible. It can be used in a number of circumstances, in speech or in writing, in a very natural way in your sentences. So, a good command over idiomatic usage means that you know how to use certain kinds of expressions in the language. And these expressions have in them some verb, they have some prepositions, and that is what becomes the idiomatic usage. I have some examples here. If we look at a phrase like to aim, so we don't say to aim for. Many times we say, no, I aim for success. No, I'm aiming at something. You aim at something. So the correct preposition in this idiom would be at. To be ill with fever, not of fever. To judge from. So I judge from the evidence, not I judge by or at the evidence. To be superior to, not superior than. We won't say he is superior to his friend. We will say he is superior to his friend, not he is superior than his friend. Right? Then to compare with, I must compare this fact with this one, not compare this fact to this one. So with, two facts are together, so we use the preposition with. To protest against, to adhere to, not by. Adhere to the rules, not adhere by the rules. These are small errors sometimes that come up. To consist of. Now, when we say that the book consists of, that is correct. But when we use to comprise, then we don't use of. So, this book comprises many stories, many things are there. So, comprises. But we don't use of with comprises. We use of only with consist. To consist of. Then to be embarrassed by. So I was embarrassed by his behavior. By his behavior, not at his behavior. Right? So these are the many kinds of small verbs and prepositions which create some idiomatic meaning. There are many such meanings that can be created. And if you look at the phrasal verbs, then we have, let's say, something like to face up to. Please face up to the situation. Face up to. But when we use the word cope, then we don't say cope up with. No, we say cope with. So we don't use up with cope. But we can use up with face. Face up to the situation. So we can't say face with the situation. We say face up with to the situation. But when we say cope, then we say COPE, cope, that is cope with. I can cope with the situation. Look forward to, you know that in letters we write I look forward to. Your early response. I look forward to, or we can say looking forward to. All right? What's the difference? I look forward to and looking forward to. In the first part, there is I, first person. I look forward. So naturally, you will not use the form ing. But when you say looking forward to your response, there, of course, we use ing along with look. These are some of the idiomatic verbs that are used quite often in sentences in your language. And they must be used quite naturally so that you're not even aware that you're using them. And you can look up the dictionary to have many more examples of these idiomatic verbs.